One of the biggest issues that players today are having is being able to read the defense and react to what they're doing and doing whatever you need to do to get to the open spot on the court. Let's take a look at these clips from Kyrie, who's one of the best ever at reading and reacting to the defense and being able to adjust and make counters based on what they do. Right now, the most important thing when you're watching Kyrie is understanding that you can have an idea of what you want to do, but you can't always commit to it. Sometimes you have to change, sometimes you have to adjust, right? Example, in this clip, you can see right here all of the space that's in the middle of the court, right? There are two open areas right now. There's this area, there's this area over here, right? And this is all happening because Dillon Brooks has to guard Luka. He's not leaving Luka Doncic. Shooter here, guard going through to the corner. So Fred VanVleet is just here waiting. Right? So what Kyrie does, he decides he's going to attack this big open area first, right? So he takes a dribble. Jalen Green is still with him. Now I want you to watch the way he changes direction. Just a step, turn. It's super simple, nothing fancy. He just steps, turns, right? And on that step, he's trying to get this foot past Jalen Green's foot, right? And he doesn't get it all the way past, but he gets it close enough that Jalen Green has to completely turn his hips, right? So he goes from his hips facing this way to just that changes the direction. Now he's parallel to the sideline, right? And once someone's parallel to the sideline, they're pretty much giving you a free lane to the basket. So as soon as he does that, what does he do? One dribble, sees the whole defense, stops, goes off two, gets the foul. Easy way to attack and just adjust based on what the defense is doing. He doesn't continue to go just because he originally thought that the middle of the court was wide open. So same game, another situation. He's guarding VanVleet. Look at Dillon Brooks again, hugged up on Luka. That's one of the benefits of playing with another great player. Hugged up on Luka, so there's no help here in the middle. Now right now, this defender right here is over helping off of his man who's over here on the wing, right? So what does Kyrie do? He goes this way first. VanVleet does a great job of cutting him off. So he stops, adjusts, and then attacks this lead foot. Now we're going this way. In that one dribble, so he stops, attacks the other foot, and in that one dribble, he does, again, a good job of cutting him off. So he doesn't continue to force it. What does he do? Spin move. Right now, everybody is taught this. Don't help out the strong side corner. So he knows he can attack. Jalen Green does a jab, tries to get back to the shooter. So he attacks, gets downhill, another foul. This is two back-to-back clips of him attacking one way. If he gets cut off, he stops, goes the other way. He gets cut off, he stops, goes the other way. Right? You're just reacting to the defense. They're always going to give you something. You don't ever have to force it. He's guarding here, he's guarding here. So Kyrie has all of this to work with. This whole side of the court to work with, right? So what does he do? He walks down. First, he creates that contact like he wants to go middle. Which makes the defense do what? Turn his hips. His hips are parallel to the sideline, which means if he attacks hard this way, he'd normally have space, right? So he tries that drop spin. Defense does a great job of cutting him off. A lot of players in this situation would pick the ball up or shoot a step back, or just feel like they don't have anything, take a dribble out, pass it, right? What does Kyrie do? He stops between his legs, readjusts, resets, goes the other direction. Jump stop, finish in the paint, right? Your attack move doesn't have to be over just because you initially got cut off, right? Here's another one. Let's look at just what he does, right? So there's a shooter here, big, he's guarding here. Zion is there, and you know that he does not want to fully commit because everybody is taught do not help out of the strong side corner, right? So instead of going middle first, because he's here, he's sitting and waiting. He's ready to go and help. That's their game plan. It's clear their game plan is to help Strong off that nail. And the nail is just the middle of the court. This line right in the middle. If you look at any basketball court, the free throw line, there should be a nail. That's just signifies the middle of the court. So he attacks hard to the baseline first. Zion steps up to show a little bit of help. So he stops, change direction. Give him a little hezzy. Stop, change direction. And now because he got lower, it's harder for this defender to help, right? And then still, he changes direction. He's expecting him to drive hard to this open area of the court. He's just trying to show a hand. What does Kyrie do? Stops and pulls up before this defender can get over and before this defender can recover for an easy shot. Back to that Rockets game. They're not letting Luka catch the ball. So now Kyrie gets to play 4-on-4 on an NBA court. That's a lot of space, right? So we just look, where's the open spot? Initially, you're going to say, all of this is open, right? So there are different ways to get there. One way is to attack hard the opposite direction and then change direction and come back. So he attacks hard. He steps up strong. So if Kyrie wants to pass, he can pass to the shooter. But Van Vliet also does a great job of cutting him off. If you're watching this game and you're playing against someone like Van Vliet, who does a really good job of cutting off that first move, you have to be able to keep that dribble alive or just be able to change direction. That's super important in today's game. Changing direction. It's hard as a defender to change direction multiple times, especially if you're trying to slide with someone who's sprinting and really trying to get downhill. So he gets everybody to react super hard. What does he do? Spin back into all of this open area. Spin, little fade, bucket, right? And everything so far, nothing has been complicated. He hasn't had any moves that are just super crazy or highlight worthy, right? These are just good, solid moves where if you cut me off, I'm going to stop and go the other direction. And if you don't cut me off, I'm just going to continue to go. I'm going to get to the basket. That's the epitome of Kyrie's game. That's everything. He's going to go super hard in one direction. If you're good enough to get there in front of him, he's able to counter. And now it's up to you to try to react again. What do you see of your player? You have your shooter in the corner. He does not want to leave him. He does not want to leave. So this is the open area. Driving this way. So he initially drives hard. He's not able to get fully around. And Siakam does a good job of showing help. So instead of continuing to force it, instead of picking up the ball, instead of throwing a bad pass, all he does is stop, go in the other direction. This time he doesn't even have to dribble after the change of direction. He can just pull up for an easy shot in the paint. I want to say this is the last clip. So again, look at how if you on a team with someone, you have either a shooter or somebody that you know they're not going to leave. You know you can attack in that direction because nobody wants to help. So they're super tight on Luka again. So Kyrie's going to drive that way initially. But defense does a good job of cutting it off. So what does he do? Stop, change direction, attack that lead foot, go middle. He can see the help defense right here. So instead of going up to challenge a big 7-footer, stop and pop. Get the contact, stop right in the middle, get you a bucket. These are easy ways to score. Work on changing direction. When you're in practice, when you're practicing by yourself, don't just rip hard and get a layup, right? You want to do that, you want to get good at that, but you also want to be okay, can I rip, change direction? Stop for a second, then go. Stop. Maybe you might have to do a double move, change direction, then go. You know what I'm saying? Work on that to become a better player. And it's not about being shifty all the time. It's just about getting to the spot that you need to get to in order to score. And Kyrie is a master at that.